Is the ISO good? Because I know it's a little dark in here. Cause you know. Okay, cool. Look. So it's your girl Dana LeRae, and I've officially been unhinged for 14 days. Now, when I first made my content about dating apps, I had only been on the dating app platform Hinge for 24 hours. It's now been 14 days, and I have a more extensive review on what I have learned from being on a dating app. Number one, I was not wrong. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. And you know I'm not afraid to come on this camera and tell y'all like, yeah, I was tripping. No, I wasn't tripping. No sirree, Bob. I'm okay with in-life interaction, meeting people, doing my purpose work, meeting people, running errands, meeting people, going to the gym, going to yoga, meeting people, going to the cafe to read books. I am okay. I am okay with the divine alignment that it takes to find people that I am in sync with. Now, the cheat code of using the internet is not a bad idea for exposure. I will say this. When I put my Instagram on Hinge, yeah. You get a lot of instant follows as a woman. You're like, okay, this is serious boots. Like, don't even worry about. And what's interesting is, like, I would think because I got so many follows so instantaneously from Hinge that they would also DM me like, yeah, I'm really interested. No, they actually were like, okay, I'm gonna follow her. For whatever reason they decided to follow me. Maybe I could have been attracted to them. Maybe they could have liked my content. But Hinge, nonetheless, is a great platform for exposure in anything that you do. Because also I went to my Shopify app. You know, that's the site that I use for my shea butter e-commerce, and those views were also intensified. So if you got business, not a bad idea to go ahead and use Hinge as a segue. That's a positive. This has been a very overwhelming experience because having to filter through the people that have interest, it felt unnatural to me because most individuals, when you meet them outside, they have to have the courage to come up to you, right? Like if somebody's interested in you, they have to do whatever they need to get your attention in order to obtain what they want from you. With having Hinge, I felt like it was an easy way for a lot of people that may have not had the tenacity to come up to me in person, have access through the internet. Now, that could be said through Instagram, that could be said through other segues, but Hinge is very intentional in the sense that I'm here to date, right? So when I was filtering through the different options, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at certain options. I'm like, okay, I could see in real life this individual coming up to me, shooting their shot, right? Shooting their shot meaning trying to get my information in order to romantically start a bond. Other times I'm looking like, wow, we would have never centralized had it not been for this platform. I don't think we would have maybe been in the same rooms. We would have been into the same interests. We would have, I don't know if you really would have had the courage to actually come up to me and say that you were interested. So it brought this bevy of variety. Hinge brings a lot of variety. I'm talking about, and I didn't manage my preferences prior to allowing myself to get suggested outcomes. So what I mean by that is I didn't really ever go through and filtrate if I wanted a certain race or a certain age group or a certain preference like no kids or kids or none of that, right? I just left it open. I think it was, the filter was set from 25 to literally like 45, right? And what's funny is I'll get these different interests, I'll get these different matches. They're called matches on Hinge. And some of the individuals that were matching with me, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'll be scrolling, I'm like, oh, he seems cool, he seems great, okay, he's all right, it's giving athletic, I like that, you know, it's giving loves animals, stuff like that. And then I'll do my investigation and I'll be like, wait a minute, I'll scroll back up just to double check. And the age will be like 25. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute now. It made me really sit back and think to myself, like, would you date a 25-year-old? I don't think that's what it's giving. And, or I'd get like, individual that was closer to, you know, their mid-40s. And I'll be like, okay, do I want to date somebody all the way in their mid-40s? It'll really make you think if you don't pay attention quick enough to certain aspects of the person's profile, where you're bendable and where you're not. And it would almost kind of also be a little bit of a disappointment if it was somebody that you genuinely were feeling through their profile, but then you realize there's like one of those things where, like I just said, would I date a 25-year-old? Am I interested in a 45-year-old? I'm right in the center. See, I'm in the 30s. I'm right in it could go either way and be appropriate, right? But would it? You see what I mean? So I couldn't help but to feel like, wow, like you're in a room right now. If it was me and I was inside of my Hinge platform, I'm in a room with a 25-year-old athlete, and I'm in a room with a 45-year-old business tech startup manager. And they're both coming in the center to talk to me at once, and I'm looking this way, right? And I'm just like, okay, this feels kind of nuts. Like this is, I don't even know where this would actually happen in reality, but it's interesting to know that it's available online. So variety is there. If you're looking to, I know a lot of individuals are interested in dating different types of people. And if you go to Hinge, you'll find them. I mean, it was like a rainbow with my matches. I'm like, okay, I almost wanted to ask everybody, like, what is the common factor? Because you never know. It could be something outside of looks. Like, I got some pretty interesting, like, words that were said to me. Like, some men were hopping into my profile, and they're like, you know what? I know it's real. And I'm like, is that your best shot? Okay, I know it's real. Then other individuals were jumping in there like, oh my God, that comment about leaving the matrix together, I want to do that. And then some men were hopping in there, and they're just making salacious jokes like, baby, if you give me the time. But it was just so many different pitches, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, because I'm somebody that, I'm not going to say I don't get action in real life. Like, of course, I get action, but I don't think a lot of men are as rooted in their confidence as they may have used to be. So, sometimes when I talk to my male friends and I'm telling them, like, they're like, I know you get approached all day. I'm like, no, actually, you'd be surprised. A lot of men aren't comfortable like they used to coming up to women and being confident enough to express that they're interested, believe it or not. And being in the center of the dating sphere of Hinge had me doing like this. Like, I felt like I was literally like, wait. Like, you know what I mean? It was a lot of roses going on. And I'm just like, this is a lot. This is a lot to have to think about. And then there's a part of me that's also like, there's nothing wrong with these individuals that are interested in me. I just don't see compatibility. So at some point, I started feeling a little bit of like, responsibility for their feelings. I know that's crazy because it's just a dating app. I don't know these people. I don't owe them anything. A lot of people kept telling me, like, you don't owe anybody anything. But if you want me to be completely transparent with you, no, I don't owe anybody anything. But I also feel like the way that Hinge is set up, it does make things very superficial in the lens that you could very well be passing up on somebody that is super compatible with you, and you haven't gauged enough compatibility just based off of this profile. Like, it's so much easier in real life to see somebody's motions, to see somebody's temperament, to see somebody's energy. But when you're on a screen, you're like, I don't know. You know what I mean? You seem cool, but then I also don't know. You seem a little weird in this next picture. Like, one of the things I couldn't help but to show one of my male friends, the friend that set me up on the app, it was this one guy that matched with me. He sent me a really nice note saying, he was interested in getting to know me. But then the first picture he had on his on his Hinge profile was him in a full-fledged button-down, dress pants, and hard-bottom shoes on a treadmill in a hotel. And I'm like, when I saw that photo, I'm like, oh, so he's a serial killer. Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, why would you be in full-fledged business attire running on a treadmill? And then the next slide down, the photos just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And I was like, you know what? Is anybody else gonna flag this? It was off-putting. Like, he had some Halloween costume that was like a psycho. It was a lot. His page had a lot going on, right? And I'm also feeling like a little bit of, I feel a little bit of lack of protection because there's no force field between the two of us. The fact that this man is trying to match with me and he's talking to me. I'm like, in real life, I don't think I would have been in this predicament. But because I'm online, there's a whole threshold of people that I would not want kind of having access to me having access. I mean, yes, granted, that could be through Instagram, that could be through this YouTube, but it's so intentional when you're on a dating app because you're obviously looking for something personal, right? So it felt a little bit, for somebody like me, it felt like a little bit like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't like this. This is too much. And for that reason, it's an absolute no to me. And personally, because I am aware that my friends are like, well, this is the new age, right? You know, like, somebody could be, you know, hoping to find you and to look for you, and it could be through the channel of online, but I also do believe in divinity. I do believe that anybody that's supposed to align with me will align with me with or without Hinge. Like, not to be, like, come on. Like, are we really going to tell me that, and I'll make an update 2 years from now, like, I found him, he was on Hinge? No, seriously. But I'm not about to spook myself into fear, into thinking that I have to be on a dating app in order to have enough access to find the person. To be honest with you really want me to be honest? When I was talking to my male friend about why I'm going to delete my page, because he's like, so you're going to delete it? That's it? Like, what is the big deal? I'm like, number one, I'm not in no state of fear that what's for me won't find me. Number two, I'm not about to be getting on this app, checking it. It takes away from the beauty of life. It's like, technology doesn't have to have its hand in every single thing. And I really feel like Hinge and dating apps, for me, I'm not speaking for anybody else, it takes away from the beauty of things unfolding naturally. And I told him I'm going to delete the app. And he was like, okay. But then I was also like, if it's that deep, I could leave the app up and say, find me on Instagram. In the bio. It's not this deep. I still get the exposure through Hinge, but I don't have to any longer hop on here, see all these missed hearts, go through all these profiles, because then you start to also become, in my opinion, a little numb. When you're rolling through all these different pages and you pressing the X and you don't see anything that you want to heart, it's making you also be like, ooh, okay, am I too picky? Or no, I'm not too picky. I was never intending on minimizing my experience of romance through a fucking dating app. And that's just how it is. So it's not that I'm picky. It's just that in real life, this type of energy wouldn't have found me. So having it floodgate through technology is not so comfortable for somebody like me. I can only speak to my personal preference. But yeah, deleting it is going to be for me. Anybody that finds their significant other or what they're looking for romantically on Hinge, salute. I gained a lot of validation. See, I wanted to bring this point up. Hinge provides you with a certain amount of validation. And I really feel like after hearting with a few individuals, like I matched with them, it taught me like a lot of people are on Hinge just to see where they place in the market. Like, to me, it was a lot of experimental stuff going on. Like, maybe somebody that has never spoken to a woman that looks like me can get on there and be like, I wonder if she's interested. If I say I'm interested back, then that validates you and I can get a woman in real life that is her race, her age, her interest, right? It kind of creates this illusion in your mind of where you stand with the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on what you're going for, right? And I felt like the reason why validation is so important in this era right now that we live in is because we're constantly seeking it. And I think technology is giving it to us. But it's also, we need to remember, you being able to get something online because of how you present is not necessarily going to guarantee in real life that you get that outcome in energy and physical appearance and that, you know what I mean? It's not real. And I felt like a lot of times if I did want to match with somebody, I'd match with them. I'd be like, let me see how intentional this really is. And they'd heart with me and they'd be like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, hey, I'm good. How are you? And we'd start a little bit of back and forth. It'd go nowhere. I'm talking about very rarely would a man follow up with, let me get your number, let me take you out. It was really, to me, I think men are just trying to, and women and people are trying to validate what they can get or validate their own self-esteem through the experience. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't need it personally. And I kept telling my male friend, like, to be honest with you, I don't honestly feel like the type of individual that aligns with my mental and my mentality is going to be doing things like this because it's probably not going to be who they are either. So I don't feel like no love is lost, baby. I want to thank you all for taking this journey with me. Dating apps is a fascinating new phenomenon that has come on the scene. I am happy for who it serves. I am happy that I got to have my experience on it. But just like the end of this episode, peace out to Hinge. Peace out to my viewers. I love you. And I affirm that no matter who you are, what you want, it will align with you regardless if you choose to take the technology route. Okay, peace and love.